Welcome to this special presentation, Hispanic Heritage on KTAB News, sponsored by North's Funeral Home and Brownwood Funeral Home.
Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning into this special edition of KTAB for You for this year's Hispanic Heritage Month special. I'm Ashley Ibarra.
And I'm Carlos Rosado. Today we celebrate local history and culture in the big country.
President Jimmy Carter once said, "We have become not a melting pot, but a beautiful mosaic. Different people, different beliefs, different yearnings, different hopes, different dreams." And becoming an American citizen has been a dream for one Abilene resident for many years.
Chris Arredondo made his dream a reality on September the 17th of this year. And KTAB's Tobin Smith brings us more on Chris's journey to citizenship.
When I became a citizen, well,
the journey to citizenship is different for everybody, but for Chris Arredondo, it's been one that's had a long and winding road that stretches far back into his history.
Since I have memory, I was able to cross the border because my parents took the necessary steps to give me a boarding crossing card, which is as a visa, to come visit family. I have a lot of family in the United States.
Chris was born in Mexico, and he explains that with his path, he's had to face more than what people may realize.
There's a misconception about people thinking, okay, you should do it the right way. But a lot of people don't understand, if you don't have a way to immigrate yourself or a petition from a family member, there's no way, there's no real path.
Chris began working in the U.S. under a work visa. However, he wasn't able to obtain the jobs in the areas he had previously been qualified for.
I had to work in the fields. I had to work in the farm for 2 years because that was the time I was waiting for the government to process my proper documentation.
After a long and challenging process, Chris finally got the opportunity to stand before a magistrate on September the 17th of this year and be sworn in as an American citizen.
It's really special in your heart. I don't even know how to describe it because you're becoming part of this great nation.
And while emotions were high, the judge for that ceremony spoke inspiring words that Chris says will stick with him for the rest of his life.
He basically said, don't let anyone make you feel like you're less American than them because you were born here. You are a full American and you have to be proud of it.
With his new status, Chris has moved from his days of working on the farm to pursuing his passion as a graphic designer.
I've been with this company for almost 3 years now, and they've been part of my transition as a American citizen. They were always supportive with me.
As a newly founded citizen, Chris offers some words of wisdom for anyone else who is on this journey.
Everyone has their own version of their American dream, but mine is, if you can think about something, there's only you making that path to make it happen.
For BigCountryHomepage.com, I'm Tobin Smith.
Thank you, Tobin. Arredondo went on to say that one of the things that most excited him about getting citizenship was when he registered to vote, and says that it makes him feel proud to have a voice as an American citizen.
And still to come on Hispanic Heritage, staying in tune with their heritage. Board students making local history their story after the break.
You're watching Hispanic Heritage on KTAB News.
No matter the occasion, an event celebrating Hispanic culture just doesn't seem quite complete with a mariachi band. For Abilene teens say they noticed the lack of local groups and decided to face that problem head on, forming Big Country Mariachi just last year. What they lack in experience, they make up for in skill and pure determination. KTAB's Noah McKinney inviting us to a recent practice of theirs to hear some songs and learn more about their cultural journey.
Life is a lot less boring with a little bit of
And every song, they're pretty much telling a story. A love story, a goodbye.
These Abilene teens coming from 4 different schools, but uniting in what they share, forming their group Big Country Mariachi in 2023.
In Abilene, they're always like, oh, I've been looking for a mariachi group, but we can't find one because there's not many here. They're mostly in like San Antonio.
Taking it on themselves to fill that need.
I'm pretty much the director, so I have to learn how to play the instruments, but like I have to learn the culture as well.
I never thought that there were styles that you had to play to it. I thought it was just mariachi music was the same. It's a lot more complex than you traditionally think.
Their path guided purely by passion for the form.
I feel more excited to sing mariachi music. It's more fun, more upbeat. I've always been been around mariachi music since I'm a folklorico dancer. Maybe I'll be able to sing and dance at the same time someday.
Hoping that passion will ignite a spark and feed a flame that's been burning since long before they were born.
I feel like the story is coming to life with the music.
Looking for others to join the group and join the mission to help make life a little less boring.
There's no reason not to try. I mean, I started in 7th grade. I was like, might as well do it, and here we are.
For BigCountryHomepage.com, I'm Noah McKinney.
Thank you, Noah. And to find out more about Big Country Mariachi and how you can schedule them, check out their story on BigCountryHomepage.com. Over the years, Abilene ISD has made a major effort to accommodate bilingual students in the district, especially since AISD student population has become 48% Hispanic. Armando Diaz sat down with AISD School Board Trustee Billy Enriquez, discussing how the district can continue to make an impact moving forward.
How much has that been really a game changer for these students that come from families that may not be bilingual, that they only speak Spanish, and yet they're hearing both of these languages in the classroom? How beneficial has that been for them?
Role models. You know, looking at the position that you have, if we didn't see you here, a Hispanic child probably wouldn't think that they could be in the television business. So role modeling is, in our school district, we have less than 10% of our certified staff is Hispanic. 3% is African American, and the rest of it is the majority, okay, the Caucasians. So we need more teachers that, not just that they're Hispanic, but can relate to Hispanic students. That doesn't mean that a Caucasian can't relate to a Hispanic student if they can, but we need them in the classroom.
For a look at this full interview with Billy Enriquez, please log on to the KTAB website at BigCountryHomepage.com. And still to come on Hispanic heritage, the Sam Houston School standing tall and making its mark in history by preserving Abilene's Hispanic heritage.
You're watching Hispanic Heritage on KTAB News.
Abilene has amassed quite a few historic landmarks in its 140 years, many of them telling the history of the people who have called the Key City their home. But a building's historic status doesn't always ensure its preservation for future generations.
KTAB's Noah McKinney speaking with residents from the Barrio San Curo in Northeast Abilene, sharing details about a building with immense historic value to our city's Hispanic heritage. A landmark they say has been left behind, but hope to see that changed.
Sit down with anyone that grew up in Abilene's historic Barrio del San Curo, and they're likely to share a few fond memories.
I lived there all my life.
Sandra Rodriguez, one of many Abilenians with deep roots in one of the city's oldest neighborhoods.
My grandmother and my grandfather came to that neighborhood when there was no houses, and that was like in 1905.
The open fields and flowing creeks providing hours of childhood fun. That is, if you were able to dodge the area's pesky namesake, Barrio del San Curo, translating roughly to neighborhood of the mosquito.
I still remember the city would come and spray every year.
The only thing bigger than the mosquitoes, she says, the sense of community that defined residents for generations.
The Garcias, the Herreras, the Diaz down the street, everyone knew each other there. It was family. We were family.
The Barrio San Curo for decades, the only place Hispanic residents could own a home. That community mindset providing strength against adversity as they were excluded from financial and educational opportunity.
We weren't rich folks, but we were happy.
And at the heart of that community was Sam Houston Elementary. While not the first Hispanic school in Abilene, for decades it was the one place Hispanic Abilenians could go to learn and even laugh together.
Our mothers made our cheerleading costumes and our little pom-poms, so we had a good memories.
Students from pre-K through 6th walking to school and often walking home for a quick break around noon.
The other schools got a lot of privileges that we didn't get, like the lunchroom, for instance. Nowadays, I mean, a school would not go without a lunchroom.
With peanut butter or ham sandwiches for lunch and a football team wearing jerseys other schools had handed down, it wasn't a perfect school, but it was the one they had.
It means a lot to a lot of us. I know it does.
Today, there are few still living that attended the school before integration. Their stories hard to come by, and and much like the campus, fading into the past with each passing year.
That is a landmark. I hope they never tear it down.
Rodriguez and so many others I spoke with in the community concerned to see the school and, in a way, their history left to decay.
They had us over there in the little corner and didn't do much for our school, and that's very important for our kids because they didn't see that. They might catch some kind of prejudice now and then, but not like it used to be.
Hoping that the lessons of the past won't be forgotten, but preserved, as they are so often the best teacher.
It's really the same the way it was when we went to school there, that we just kind of got pushed to the side, and we weren't anyone's priority except what we did for ourselves.
Rodriguez saying if anything is going to be done, it might need to be that same community that comes together to do it.
Maybe make it, like I said, a museum. That's where it all started, in that neighborhood, and that school should be very important to everyone.
For BigCountryHomepage.com, I'm Noah McKinney.
Thank you, Noah. The Houston school did receive a state historical marker in 1999, though nothing has been done to preserve the campus since then.
And KTAB is highlighting Hispanic leaders who work in different businesses in Abilene and how they contribute to our community. One such person is Ricardo Gutierrez. He holds positions in the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, is a board member of the Hispanic Leader Council, and advocate for the CASA organization. Gutierrez talking with us about helping pave the way for other Hispanic leaderships in Abilene.
Number one, I want to motivate the young Hispanic person to say, hey, you know what, Ricardo came from another country. Listen to his English. I mean, he has an accent, but he made it, so can I. I want to give a gift to our future generation and say, here, somebody paved it for me, and I'm paving it for you.
Another local role model, Marlene Salazar, the marketing supervisor of the Abilene Zoo, explaining how she feels as a Hispanic in a leadership position with that organization.
I'm very proud, and I feel with a lot of responsibility to represent Mexicans and Latin Americans correctly, to know that we're here and that we can make a difference, and that we're gonna, little by little, we're more, and we're gonna be represented better.
Both Abilenians saying that preserving traditions in the Spanish language is essential to keeping Hispanic heritage alive.
Still to come on Hispanic heritage, an iconic symbol in Mexican culture, La Catrina, transforms for Day of the Dead.
You're watching Hispanic Heritage on KTAB News.
One West Texas woman is using her makeup and design skills to honor her Hispanic culture. With every brushstroke and attention to detail in her costumes, she's transforming into an iconic symbol in Mexican culture. KTAB's Ashley Barra telling us how Araceli Marquez's transformation into La Catrina is in honor of her late loved ones, part of the Day of the Dead celebration.
She has a lot of feathers. She's really gaudy. European is what it is.
You may have heard of La Catrina, a symbol heavily embedded in Mexican culture.
La Catrina is basically the icon to Dia de los Muertos. She is the face of Dia de los Muertos. She was created by Jose Guadalupe Posada in 1910, but back then it was just a drawing.
A reminder during the Day of the Dead, a holiday dedicated to honor past loved ones, that we are all the same.
At the end of it all, it doesn't matter how well dressed you are, fine dressed you are, or how much money you have, we're all the same at the very end, which is bones.
Over the years, La Catrina has become more colorful and vibrant, and it's how many people know her today.
I mean, I added this also to represent almost a rib cage, if you kind of look at it.
For the past 5 years, Araceli Marquez has been using her imagination to transform into her own version of La Catrina.
Truly love it. I truly put my everything in it when I'm creating these outfits.
Using the techniques of makeup and design to keep her in touch with her Mexican roots.
I do feel like a different person. I'm actually embodying what I had in my imagination. I feel like a princess when I put on all these outfits.
Her latest Catrina inspired by her late grandfather.
This one was dedicated to him in honor of him, my grandfather that was brutally murdered. And was something very, very hard that happened, and I wanted to dedicate it to him because in my eyes he did die as a warrior.
Through her craft, breaking misconceptions people may have.
It has nothing to do with Halloween because I've gotten asked that as well, and they think it's just like just an elaborate costume, which it's not. It's totally something different, respecting the culture.
With every brushstroke, Araceli says she's telling the story of Hispanic culture.
To share it, share the information, share the creativity, and share how beautiful the tradition truly is. She had to be exaggerated, so I think I executed it.
Thank you, Ashley. The Day of the Dead will be celebrated on November 1st and 2nd. Each Catrina look taking an average of 3 months to complete. And still to come on Hispanic Heritage, Art from the Heart, showcasing the storybook capital of America during Hispanic Heritage Month.
You're watching Hispanic Heritage on KTAB News.
Downtown Abilene will soon be the home to a new mural at the National Center for Children's Illustrated Literature building. The mural is set to showcase the storybook capital of America and also a little piece of the artist.
KTAB's Mariah Williams has the latest on the new piece of art coming to the Nickel, honoring Hispanic heritage.
My name is Rafael Lopez, and I'm an illustrator. I was born in Mexico City.
Splashes of color are overcoming the blank walls at the Nickel.
I think that every mural has been a different experience, and I have learned along the years, what to do. Many times, including in this time, I like to have an initial conversation with the people that are inviting me to find out more about where this mural is going to take place, their community.
Children illustrator and Mexican artist Rafael Lopez creating a unique 15-foot mural for the city, getting the community involved.
It's about two silhouettes, about two kids reading books, which is perfectly fitting for the Nickel, because this is all about children's literature. So I based my design on that, and it's as you can see there, the design is very graphic, very simple, so it's not intimidating.
Lopez's love for art, sprouting since he was a young child, being able to connect his story with others through his creations.
Many of them needs to have a connection with my own personal life. I need to see my son, I need to see the struggle that my mom has, trying to become an architect in the 1950s in Mexico. My son with high functioning autism, I needed to see kids with challenges like that as well.
Lopez changing the diversity in children's literature, one page and one wall at a time. Reporting in Abilene with coverage you can count on, I'm Mariah Williams, KTAB News.
Thank you, Mariah. The Nickel will be holding an event to celebrate the painting and Hispanic heritage of Lopez this Friday, October 11th. From art to business, the Hispanic influence in the Key City is alive and well.
And coming up this weekend is the annual Hispanic Business Mercado. The theme this year is Me Encantan los Ochentas, or I Love the 80s. The Business Mercado, hosted by the Abilene Chamber Hispanic Business Council, is an outlet for Abilene to connect with the Hispanic community while experiencing the vibrant culture, as Aida Pantoya and Ricardo Gutierrez explain.
It's the only event like this in this area in West Texas, and I'm very proud to have it here in Abilene for 16 years.
Come and know the businesses in the community, the Hispanic business in the community. Come and learn about them, know what they have to offer, and not only just the Hispanic, but the non-Hispanic that want to do business with the Hispanic people.
Look out for performances from the Ballet Folklorico of the Big Country, along with the Ballet Folklorico of Alvaro Muñoz, and appearances from on-air personalities from our sister station, Telemundo Abilene.
Me siento orgullosa de hacer este tipo de trabajo, ¿verdad? Más que nada, no orgullo por mí, por mi padre, que se esforzó para darme un estudio y así aprendí a hacer esto.
It was this time last year when we featured Damis Hernandez and her talents making dresses for the St. Vincent Pallotti Ballet Folklorico, now the Alvaro Muñoz Ballet Folklorico Academy.
Since then, the story produced by Manny Diaz has been nominated for a Lone Star Emmy in the Historical Cultural News category. This is the third Lone Star Emmy nomination for Manny in 2 years. Good job, Manny. Winners of this year's Lone Star Emmys will be announced on November 23rd in San Antonio.
And this month at the Grace Museum, you can see a glimpse into Hispanic heritage and history. From now until the end of October, the Grace will have their Hispanic Heritage exhibit open for you to learn about the origin of Hispanic Heritage Month and the history of Hispanics in Abilene and Texas. The Grace, collaborating with ACU's Introduction to Public History, Interpreting American Past course to create monthly exhibitions. These exhibitions highlight the narratives of various culture groups that are integral to Abilene's history. Thanks for tuning into this special edition, KTAB for You, celebrating Hispanic heritage.
You can find all these stories and more on our website, bigcountryhomepage.com.
That's right, call us and come back in half an hour for KTAB News at 5.
Thank you for watching Hispanic Heritage on KTAB News. Sponsored by North's Funeral Home and Brownwood Funeral Home.